Stone soup, stone soup, stone soup. The story says it's true, 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 true. Stone soup, stone soup, stone soup, stone soup, stone soup. Stone soup, stone soup, stone soup. The story says it's true. Stone soup, stone soup. Once upon a time, 3 soldiers trudged down a road in a strange country. Besides being tired, they were hungry. In fact, they hadn't eaten at all for 2 days. Soldiers are we, as hungry as can be, back from the war, as countries are so far. Food, meat or wish, some chicken, meat or fish, a tray full of pie, some food to reach the sky. And after we've been fed, we'll like a nice soft bed. We'll sleep and rest our feet, and dream of more to eat. How I would like a good dinner tonight. And a bed to sleep in. But all that is impossible. We must march on. On they marched. Suddenly ahead of them they saw the lights of a village. They said to each other, maybe we'll find a bake to eat there and a rock to sleep in. There's no harm in asking, said the soldiers. Decided to march up to the village to ask for food. Soldiers are we, as hungry as can be, back from the war, as countries are so far. Food, meat or wish, some chicken, meat or fish, a tray filled high, some food to reach the sky. And after we've been fed, we'll like a nice soft bed. We'll sleep and rest our feet, and dream of more to eat. Now the peasants of that place engaged in. When they heard that some soldiers were coming down the road, they talked among themselves. Here come 3 soldiers. Oh dear, soldiers are always hungry. But we have little enough for ourselves. We heard just what they said. They're heading to the village to ask for food and bed. We'll run to tell our friends, and hide their food and vegetables and all their nice fat hens. And so they hurried to hide their food. They pushed sacks of barley under the hay in the lofts. They lowered buckets of milk down the wells. They spread old quilts over cabins. They hid their cabbages and potatoes under the bed. They hung their meat in the cellars. They hid all they had to eat. Then they waited. Meanwhile, the soldiers were tired. They lay down to rest. Suddenly, they heard a big growl. They were frightened. They thought it was a wild animal, but it was only the sound of their stomach. Rumble, roar, The soldiers stopped at the first house in the village. Good evening to you, they said. Could you spare a bit of food for 300 soldiers? Poor hungry soldiers, oh couldn't you spare some good hearty stew or some bread we can share? For you soldiers are we, could you give us some lunch, or breakfast or dinner or supper or brunch? We have had no food for ourselves for 3 days. It has been a poor harvest. Sorry for you, not a thing we can do. There's no food to stew when we're feeling so blue. The pantry says there's not a thing that we can do. We're sorry for you, we're sorry for you. The three soldiers went on to the next house in the village. We're poor hungry soldiers, oh couldn't you spare some good hearty stew or some bread we can share? Free soldiers are we, could you give us some lunch, or breakfast or dinner or supper or brunch? Oh no, we give all we could to soldiers who came before you. We're poor hungry. Sorry for you, not a thing we can do. There's no food for stew and we're feeling so blue. Our pantry is bare, not a thing we can do. We're sorry, dear soldiers, so sorry for you. At the next house, the answer was the same. It had been a poor harvest, and all the grain must be kept for seed. So it went all through the village. Not a peasant had any food to give away. They all had good reasons. One had to use the grain for feed. Another had an old sick father to care for. All had too many mouths to fill. The villagers stood in the street and sighed. They looked as hungry as they could. We're sorry for you, not a thing we can do. There's no food for stew when we're feeling so blue. Our pantry is bare, not a thing we can do. We're sorry for you, so sorry for you. Wait, I have an idea. The three soldiers talked together. Then the first soldier called out,
Good people, we are 3 hungry soldiers in a strange land. We have asked you for food, but you have none. Well then, we'll have to make stone soup.
The peasants stared. Stone soup, that would be something to know about. First we'll need a large iron pot, the soldier said. The peasants brought the largest pot they could find. Now we'll need a fire Now we'll need water to fill it and a fire to heat it, the soldier said. It took many buckets of water to fill the pot. A fire was built on the village square and the pot was set to boil.
Now please, 3 round smooth stones.
Those were easy enough to find. The peasants' eyes grew round as they watched the soldiers drop the stones into the pot. They watched the soldiers stir the soup.
Stir and cook and stir and cook and stir and cook the stone soup. Stir and cook and stir and cook and stir and cook the stone soup.
Any soup needs salt and pepper, said the soldiers as they began to stir. Children ran to get salt and pepper.
Stones like these generally make good soup, but if there was a few potatoes and a bit of beef, this soup would be much better. Oh, but if there were carrots, this soup would be much better.
Why, I think I have a carrot or two. She came back with an apron full of carrots from the thin potato, the red cook. She put the carrots in the kettle and stirred the soup.
Stir and cook and stir and cook and stir and cook the stone soup. Stir and cook and stir and cook and stir and cook the stone soup. A good stone soup should have cabbage, but no use asking for what you don't have.
I think I could find a cabbage somewhere. Back she came with 2 cabbages from the cupboard under the bed.
Stir and cook and stir and cook and stir and cook the stone soup. Stir and cook and stir and cook and stir and cook the stone soup. If only we had a bit of beef and a few potatoes, this soup would be much better.
The peasants thought that over. They remembered their potatoes and sides of beef hanging in the cellars. They ran to fetch them. A rich man's soup, and all from a few stones. It seemed like magic. Smells so nice. I think I'll bring some rice. And I will bring a roast and cider for a toast.
And I will bring some bread, or maybe cake instead.
To make the dinner grand, we should call a band.
At last, the soup was ready. All of you shall taste, the soldiers said. But first, a table must be set. Great tables were placed in the square, and all around were lighted torches. Such a soup, how good it smelled, truly fit for a king. But then, the peasants asked themselves, would not such soup require bread and a roast and cider? Soon a banquet was spread, and everyone sat down to eat. Never had there been such a feast. Never had the peasants tasted such a soup, and fancy made from stones. They ate and drank and ate and drank, and after they danced. They danced and sang far to the night. At last they were tired. Then the 3 soldiers asked, is there not a loft where we could sleep?
But 3 such wise, splendid gentlemen sleep in a loft?
They must have the best beds in the village. In the morning, the whole village gathered in the square to give them a send-off.
Many things for you have taught us.
We shall never go hungry now that we know how to make soup from stones. Oh, it's all a knowing how, said the soldiers, and off they went down the road.